here on the Mount Noise podcast with the head gremlin,
Tis I. Yep.
Ella Gibson.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
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 Hello. Yes, we're here.
And Supreme, thanks for letting us into the cafe.
Yeah, thank you to Eva and Cass as well, who... Well, I mean, I had to get permission to come in,
Of
know.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. Now, Gremlins. Let's just do the real basic. Like, what is Gremlins?
Yes. I mean, it's kind of hard to put into words.
How do you, when one of your family friends asks you what it is you're doing,
Yep.
and you go, I've got this thing called Gremlins, they go, what is that?
Yeah.
How do you explain it to them?
So I say that Gremlins is a independent creative platform for and by the people of Õtautahi. So
That's pretty good.
yeah, I feel like in a one-liner that's pretty sums it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad actually is really, really cute. He's written down that exact thing in his notes app on his phone whenever he gets asked about what the heck I'm up to.
That's sweet.
And he'll be like, okay, I need to get it right, and then goes into his notes app. But I think I gave him that line.
Cool.
Yeah.
And when did it start?
Like just under a year ago, it launched.
Yeah, okay, cool. So a year ago.
Yeah.
What's your lore leading into Gremlins in terms of had you worked in kind of media, independent media, local scene stuff? What brought you to the point where you initiated Gremlins?
So I've always been interested in journalism and writing stories. I even wrote as a kid a little Gibson news that I made my dad print out at work.
That's amazing.
And literally got him to print it out, and then I hand delivered it to my mum, my dad, and my sister. That was sort of, I always knew I had a thing for writing stories. But then what happened? Well, I guess, I had my own blog called Made in 2000 because I'm a 2000 baby.
Cool.
And I just wrote about all the things that I was interested in. That was psychology, culture, anything like that, any social phenomenon stuff. And it was probably in my second year at university when I went to Cantor. They were looking for stories in that first 2020 lockdown, and I had way more time on my hands, like all of us. And I wrote a story about what I was learning in my psychology course about this thing called adolescent egocentrism, which I called the "it won't happen to me" syndrome, because I think the lockdown, it was a time when we saw all these other nations go into this lockdown, and in our little New Zealand, it felt like a thing that wouldn't happen to us. And then I found this intersection of what I was learning in my psychology course and what was going on in the world. So pitched that to Cantor, and then they were really, really keen to get on board with that. So they ran that in one of their online issues, and then I became a feature writer for Cantor for the next 2 years. And then in the year when Liam Donnelly and Liam Stretch were editing, that would have been 2021, they were looking for another editor of Cantor. So Cantor, by the way, is the UC student media platform magazine. And so they were looking for another editor. So my homie, Emily Hayward, and we pitched ourselves as editors for that. So in 2022, that was my side gig, was co-editing Cantor while I was finishing my third year of university. Oh, that was a year.
Yeah.
Big up student media, by the way. I think that's a awesome stepping stone that forces people wanting to get into writing to actually do it and have a accessible stepping stone that they can launch off of. And yeah, journalism, media and comms were a part of my degree. And then so, where am I going with this? Oh, the next year I was thinking that I wanted to get into mainstream media and work for what I really, really admired, the spin-off, and then wider things like Vice as well. But, I didn't see myself at that point, going to Vice. what did I do? I worked with Yo Vocal a little bit. Well, I wrote a couple stories for Yo Vocal, Musician magazine, and then I lived in Spain for a bit in 2023.
Nice.
Because why the heck not, you
Totally.
know? And it was sort of there that I had a lot of thinking time about coming back to Õtautahi and thinking like, the heck am I going to do? And the last year in Õtautahi was sort of filled up by a lot of gigs and going out, probably to diffuse a bit of the stress from finishing a degree and editing a mag. And there just became a bit of a saying that we would say, which was like, we're going to go Grem mode tonight, or we're going to go, the Gremlins are coming out tonight, something like that. So that's where the sort of name came from, was just the homies and I being like,
Yeah, cool.
we're Gremlins. But then, I was just like, shit, I kind of want to do my own thing, because it was really awesome at Cantor being able to like oversee, it was a platform where you could essentially like write whatever you wanted to. And there wasn't any, like you definitely had to run stuff by the UCSA, who most student associations, they're the ones who fund student media. So you need to make sure you're on good terms with them. But like other than that, you can kind of like write whatever can I say?
Yeah, you can swear, yeah.
Okay. Whatever the fuck you want.
Oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
But yeah, so I was just like, shit, I'm going to try it. Like when I get back, I'm going to do my own thing. And it was a bit of a slow burn. So I got back mid-2023, and it was like mid-2023 until like when we launched in September 2024 was me procrastinating, me trying to work out what the heck Gremlins was going to be, trying to like comms to people and convey what that was going to be without me knowing as well, which was quite difficult
Get
to
people
do.
on board.
Yeah, I like knew what I wanted it to be, but it was like hard initially to articulate that without it being a thing. Because I wanted it to be a pretty multidisciplinary platform that showcased a lot of artists and like what was going on in Christchurch. But that's definitely, I guess, the lead up to Gremlins launching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you launched with a physical magazine?
We didn't actually. So we launched with a sort of like big social media campaign, if you can call it that.
Right.
I mean, most of Gremlins is online. Like we have our website, gremlins.nz, and we mostly push things through our Instagram, which is gremlins.õtautahi. We've made one zine, which was a collab between the Forest stage at Two Minds Festival, and now we've got our physical gig guide rolling out every month. But most of what we do is online, so that's articles, online gig guides, sort of visual spotlights and profiles on photographers as well and visual artists. So we sort of launched with like a pretty hectic, like ambiguous, vague video because I still didn't know what the heck like Gremlins was going to be, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, and it was like a sort of, I should pull it up or something, but it's like heaps of sort of grungy visuals and clips of like Christchurch with this really cool tune in the background that's like a remix of that "You Wouldn't Steal a Car" advert. So we just kind of wanted it to be like quite grungy, and then we found that song that was on a big Fresh Collective drop, and it just fitted perfectly. And then we sort of just rolled out content. Yeah, that was sort of how it all happened.
For me, as like an older person, I'm caught in this. I grew up getting into music media when it was still just magazines, like going down to the Timaru like Whitcalls and getting the NME magazine,
Cool
stuff like that, right? And so I feel like 2025. My stuff is like online, and your stuff is online, and there's a little bit of physical stuff. It's all very like spread out, and that I feel very confused by all of that.
Fair enough.
I feel, and the confusion for me is not necessarily like what's going on. It's more like, does this work?
Yeah.
How do you feel about what I would call like the stratification of Gremlins? Because it's on the website, it's on Instagram, it's sometimes physical, it's sometimes in conversation with people. Yeah, like how do you make sense of that for yourself?
Whoa.
Does it feel comfortable and normal to you, or?
Yeah, the chaos feels comfortable. Like the chaos feels comfortable, I think, because, well, I grew up in a time where I like saw print media being the dominant thing. And that was always like the thing. But then growing up in a time, I think, yeah, like I still got like, I had an iPod Shuffle, you know. I had a Nano as well. I think they're like slightly bigger one. That was really cool. But I think it was the start of high school when like everyone started getting an iPhone, and so it definitely has made sense to get on as many platforms as possible. It's definitely stressful in some way, and like measuring and quantifying how successful each thing is another thing. But I feel like having all these different mediums and pathways, that was good. That was an inevitable, and I like expected and anticipated that for sure.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Do you think? Well, I need to formulate the thought that I'm trying to get at.
Well, it's like we're stuck with Instagram and a bunch of other places. There's a limited amount of places to tell the multiple stories we want to tell. But do you feel like the stories you want to tell are served enough by the platforms you're forced to tell them on? Because that's the thing with the physical thing, is that you can do it any way you want.
Totally.
And so when you're not doing that, okay, now we're in a box that the tech companies set for us.
Totally, yeah. Well, I guess it's in a way like because that tone is already set, you know what tools you have. So I guess it's like maybe not challenging like my critical thinking ability in a way, because I'm like, oh, well, this is just what we've got, you know, so I'm just going to do, you know, going to tell the stories in these ways, and then that's going to work because that's how the platform's designed. I guess I haven't actually thought about that really.
It's a very interesting. You start getting to the realm of the medium as the message.
Yeah.
Which
is the medium is the message. Who said that? That was a media like theorist, bro. Oh, I should know that, but anyway.
Yeah, Homer Simpson, I think. I believe.
The Don.
Yes, third season, I think.
Is the sun annoying?
I think it's cool, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You rate the sun?
I need to get it on my skin. I'm in an office all day.
True.
And I just have the face to soak it in, so that's all I can do.
Guys, that's all I can do.
It's just happening.
It is happening, yeah.
Okay, and did you grow up in Christchurch?
I did.
Yeah, okay. So you don't have any hometown cringe?
Ooh.
Or you do?
Because you mentioned Timarue.
Yeah.
Right. Do I have hometown cringe about Christchurch? Oh.
Because in your your manifesto is very clear that like there's good and bad things here, but like everyone who talks shit about Christchurch is wrong, and you're trying to, especially people from the north, and you're trying to show what's good about here.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because a lot of the time when I meet someone who's got a mission like that, they're not from the place they're telling the story about.
Right, yeah,
because there's this kind of
I see.
home cringe sometimes.
Yeah.
But you don't have much of that.
I mean, now I don't. Like now I'm really, really proud to be from Christchurch. But there was like a lot of the time where, I don't know, I didn't want to be here. Like I thought it was I didn't think that the opportunities were that. There wasn't a plethora of opportunities. It was too small. Like mindsets were too rigid. Honestly, straight after high school, I left the country. To be honest, that really puts it into. That explains that. And then I think coming back, I didn't really do the first year halls of residence experience. So I sort of, I was just like, oh, a couple of my homies, I'm like, can I just be friends with all the friends that you've made?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, which was cool, but I didn't really have that rite of passage thing going on of like how people make a lot of friends having left home setup going on. And yeah, I mean, the first couple of years, I was just like, of university, I was just mainly at university, you know, but I was a bit disheartened by like some of the culture, I guess, in a nice way.
Is
I
it
think.
still breather culture when it's up here? Or is that just a name for Otago culture?
Oh, totally breather
Yeah,
culture,
cool.
and I was 100% a part of it as
Yeah,
well.
right.
Like I used to like jump up, drum and bass was
Sick.
my thing,
Yeah.
you know. Netsky, love him. Do I still love him as much as I? No, you know. But at a point in time, like, you know, that was my thing, and that was like really, really cool. That culture was fun for a bit, but yeah, I guess I don't have hometown cringe now. There are definitely parts of it where I'm like, ugh, but I am the biggest advocate for like all the cool shit going on now.
And has the cool shit? Is there more cool shit? Has the cool shit gotten cooler, or is it just more visible now?
I think.
Because for me,
Has it? Yeah, yeah.
It really seems like the cool shit only started maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
I kind of agree. Yeah,
and it's increasingly getting cooler.
Yeah. Well, there was a RNZ article about is Christchurch the new Wellington that came out. Yeah.
The Wellington people
Yeah,
love that.
Well, what do you think about that?
I mean, the weather's way nicer here than Wellington,
100%.
so I would say no, it's not. And it's way cheaper.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I think Wellington has such an essence to it that you can't pull it apart.
For sure.
In terms of like, yeah, I don't know as much about that.
I think it's just opportunities here feel like there's a lot of people now doing cool shit, and for people who want to do cool shit, there are kind of easy ways to get into doing that or meeting the right people. I can't speak on behalf of like being a part of Tamaki or Porniki. Like I don't know what it's like to live there and be a part of like the stuff going on, but I feel like it's exciting now because we're in the early days of being really cool. So
Yeah.
it's like it's like an awesome place to come here now and establish yourself doing something really cool. Whereas I think it's a bit more set and like it's a bit more flexible.
I think that's true. I think that Auckland and Wellington are the box is filled.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
And, you know, maybe it's the earthquakes and the physical space. Literally, there's spaces to fill. Like there's still there'll be buildings.
Speaking
over there at
of,
some point.
yep.
There'll be all these things, and so like it feels like things can grow.
Yep.
But also people are moving here because there's space for them to move into. So that's growth as well. And that means energy, and energy is usually momentum.
Yep, for sure. I think, the earthquakes definitely, because I was in like year 4 or 5 when the earthquakes hit. Which is, I was still at primary school.
It's buzzy.
And I was just on the courtyard with my homies at lunchtime, and then, you know, everything shook.
That's swaying.
Yeah, that's what we did. And I feel like I didn't really get to know like the Christchurch CBD that well before the quakes.
I feel like you're not missing out on much.
No? Can you tell me
a little bit? Yeah, because I would
like,
have been second year uni
Yep.
at that point.
Yep.
And I had been part of the all ages scene coming up from Timaru to play here. That's how I met guys like Ben Woods and Ryan Fisherman and stuff when I was
Cool.
younger. And then we had maybe a year's worth of playing at, say, like Goodbye Blue Monday, which was like this amazing.
Oh, I see that
it
at
was the
Smash
hipster-
in the back. They have a Goodbye Blue Monday,
That
and I was like,
the cool place.
Yeah.
There's also a media club. There's a bunch of places, but Christchurch always felt like just a giant Timaru to me. It had the same kind of people, the same kind of things. I was too young to really know but it didn't. I'm very surprised that version of me would be very, very surprised that I'm living here now.
Yeah.
Like,
have you lived elsewhere?
Yeah, London and Auckland.
Oh, true.
And Dunedin.
Boom.
So I'm a bit of an authority to talk on how good Christchurch is, actually. But yeah, no, and it's a horrible thing to say because like it was a massive tragedy and a huge setback for this region and
definitely.
still ongoing for parts of it. But the bright side of that coin was it completely stopped the city in its tracks, and it's been forced to take intentional step after intentional step forward and actually ask questions like what kind of city do we want to be, and have the space to make it how they want to make it. And I always feel like we're teetering on the edge depending on who's in power in the council and these things of like it could sway into just being shit again. Yeah. But still, we're on that line where good things are happening and alongside the kind of like boring things like putting up parking lots and shit. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Okay, cool.
Getting people on board with your stuff is a thing that I don't think people outside of, say, like the kind of independent media people really understand very well. Is like they kind of look at who you're featuring or who's on the interviews and all these things and just go like, oh, that's cool, like they should talk to this person. But it's the access thing is hard, especially when you're starting, because everyone's like, who are you and what is this thing you're doing?
For sure,
what's this idea? And then like I find a lot of the time musicians and creative people, some of them aren't very interested or good at cooperating with telling their own story and stuff like that. Yep. What have your experiences been like in the kind of early stages of Gremlins getting up and about? Are you mainly able to do the kind of stories you want to do? Do you find them challenging to get over the line sometimes?
Ooh,
or is it actually a bit of a breeze?
I actually think it's quite easy. But I think that's because I've sort of like had to leave the shame and embarrassment of just like hitting people up at the front door, you know? Yeah. I think, initially at the start I had I'd written like 6 stories before we launched just to have in the back pocket. But like from the get-go we didn't really have like a set theme or things like definitively that we wanted to like write on. I don't think I find it too challenging to reach out to artists. It's definitely like a case-by-case situation. Some artists are like super, super keen and on board with the whole like marketing side of things and being able to like show up for themselves. But I feel like that's also I think it's a really case-by-case basis of how easy it'll be to like get in contact with people or what the timeline's going to look like and like
all while having a full-time job.
Yeah. It has to be done,
and
you know.
And then the artists you're interviewing also have jobs.
Yeah. So I've definitely had I had one story where like I interviewed this collective Hooves on Grooves who run like fire and drum circles every full moon at the super, super dope, like really, really cool. I'd gone to a few of them before, hitting them up, and like for whatever reason, like it took maybe like 4 months, maybe even longer, maybe like 6 months from that original message to getting anything published. But for a bit there, it was like one of the homies in their collective was like overseas, and then it turned out that he like couldn't contribute to the article or something like that, and then like I got really busy and I had like no capacity to write anything. So there are definitely examples of like stories that took way too long to sort out, you know, but it always just depends on like, I think it differs from story to story. Sometimes I'm literally just like interviewing my homies, so that like happens really fast. Other times, like I've also said to so many of my homies, like, yeah, let's do something, bro, and like doesn't happen. You know, either it's like I don't have the time, or like someone else is that person's like not keen anymore for whatever reason, something comes up. Yeah, that's definitely interesting to navigate, but I think it's just like life that gets in the way of actually publishing shit sometimes and doing stuff. Yeah, what do you reckon? Sorry, I'm not supposed to be like interviewing you, but yeah.
Yeah, it's changing for me, but yeah, having to sell people on ideas. And then is difficult. But then I end up collecting people who I now know I can, if I have a new idea, I know at least they'll listen to it because we've done stuff before and it's been okay.
Yep.
So it's like kind of an over time thing,
Yep.
It's a building trust thing.
Yes, 100%.
Really.
And like rapport with these people. I think like I sort of previously touched on briefly about like at the start trying to convince people to collaborate without there being like a tangible Gremlins platform available. I found that really, really difficult. Like people were like, yeah, cool, keen. I might have some time in like 2 months to maybe do something. Whereas now people can like see Gremlins or know about it and they almost conjure an idea themselves like entirely before talking to us. Like we still reach out to people that we want to collaborate with, but a lot of the time it'll be like someone will come to us with like, hey, this is happening. Like also music releases will come to us with a fully written like PR copy and everything. And I'm like, oh shit, I just got to copy and paste this and put it on the Instagram. And that's awesome. So it's definitely, it's easier now. It was difficult though at the start for sure.
Yeah.
But people were keen to like get on board now, which is cool.
Yeah, do you have to filter once that starts happening in terms of like, are you... Yeah, I guess this is a good question. Like, you're obviously here supporting what's going on in Christchurch. Mm-hmm. But are you supporting everything in Christchurch that gets sent your way just to support it? Or is there a vibe or a quality or something that you're like, we'll do this, but this isn't the right place for that?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
We have not been able to run like quite a few things for like a multitude of different reasons. Sometimes it's like even in our gig guide, we don't often, we can't for like whatever reasons, either if it's timeline or if the gigs are announced yet, we can't like announce all the gigs that are on, but also Austin, who does the gig guide curation, sometimes like promoters don't actually get back to us, so then it looks like we've curated something that like has all of these venues gigs like off of it. But yeah, there's definitely stories where I think we're always looking at a potential story or anything that we're going to publish through the eyes of an interested and engaged like resident or inhabitant of Õtautahi. So I think a lot of the times as well, if we try and champion the underdog, for sure. Like we can't do everything. Like, I mean, we're a small team. There's like 5 consistent Grammys members, but then heaps of other core collaborators too. We often like don't have all the time in the world to do everything, which sucks. And like we don't have money, you know. But yeah, there are different, like there's a lot of variables at play as to why some things don't get run and some things do get published. Is
it ever, I don't like that?
Trying to think of a like concrete example in my mind of that happening. Yeah, there is. Yeah. There is.
And are you honest with those people when you say no?
We've worked out a pretty, like the editing team and we've worked out a pretty nice, like we never want to give someone like a concrete no, because I don't think that that's like fair, you know? well, it's not fair, it's not nice, but also sometimes we'll get like portfolios sent to us and we'll be like, oh, we'll really like the style but not the content, but we like the content here and not the style of something that's so we always try with our time to like give real concrete and constructive feedback. And also I think as well with portfolios it's difficult because they've written these articles like in another time when it might not be as relevant to stuff going on in Christchurch at the moment, which is another big driving factor in us deciding what's going to get like published.
Yeah, how does this, because I feel like it's moving quite quick here. Is speed a bit of a concern, like turnaround time and getting...
Yeah,
you know, you don't necessarily want to be putting something out there when it's like the scene itself has already moved on.
Yeah, we had like a recent example of this is like Flux closing, and I made a like reel on like I got sent all the archived photos of Flux over the years, and then that was a real big push to like get that out, and then they had the farewell gig last weekend, and then we're trying to get this other article, sort of a more a bit of a memoir to Flux put together. And yeah, so there's definitely like a time to that when people are still thinking about Flux right now. They probably always will be thinking about Flux, but like in that present tense of let's celebrate this venue closing, you know? Well, not even at closing, but it having existed in the first place. There's always a time crunch on that for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
This is going to come out when your boosted campaign.
Huge.
So talk me through like what that campaign is for you and the kind of pitch to people. Well,
so it's very exciting. We got accepted to be a part of this year's Boost Õtautahi campaign, which is run and fueled by the Arts Foundation, and we're going to try and raise 12.5K in the month of September. So the campaign goes live on the 1st of September, and then you can get your last donations into the page on the 30th. So it's a nice 4 weeks. And what's exciting about that as well is that it's sort of different from other GoFundMe situations, because we're getting 5K of that 12.5K matched by Christchurch City Council, Creative New Zealand, and the Rata Foundation. So, yeah, very exciting, very, very cool. So that means if you donated $20, that's instantly $40 up to 5K, which is really awesome. So yeah, we're going to have a pretty busy month of campaigning. There's a big sort of networking event at the Arts Centre on the 17th of September. Anyone's more than welcome to come to that. It's a free event. You just have to RSVP.
We'll make sure we get this out before.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so that's very exciting. I'm going to have to get my corporate gremlin mode on, which I don't really know, haven't seen that side exist yet, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
amazing.
That's really, really cool. We're just sort of trying to fundraise as the Gremverse is growing. We're wanting to do bigger things. We're also looking to sort of cover printing costs, operational costs, labour costs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What would that chunk of money mean to Gremlins?
I mean, it would just mean that we could do the shit that we know there is a demand for. Essentially, I'm really, really proud of all the mahi that we've been doing, but we want to put on big scale events, and we want to actually host workshops for people. We kind of don't want to stress about printing costs coming out of our own paychecks, which everything has been coming out of. But that's okay. We'd still be doing that if this opportunity hadn't crossed our path. But yeah, it would mean the world. It would mean that we would just not stress for a bit, really, cool. Because we've got a big event coming up in November, which we're really, really excited about. But yeah, it's just we want to do so many things, and we also want to keep on putting this gig guide out. We want to pay collaborators, and I think also, Yeah, like the core team and I are like loving it, but we're definitely getting exhausted too. But like we're still going to keep on doing it, so like you don't have to worry about that. But you know, it's just a lot of mahi.
You don't want to be in a toxic relationship with your own platform.
Yep, I think it's that, because you don't want to, like, I guess the monetization of a hobby or a passion project is, well, not even necessarily like the monetization of it, but like doing it a lot and then doing it more. You don't want to like start looking at it with oh fuck, I've got some Gremlins admin to do. Yes. Like I've got all these Gremlins tasks to like tick off. And it can be like that sometimes because, yeah, I still just want to keep on being excited about it for people for our loyal Gremlins, really, is the buzz. And I definitely am, but there are days when I'm like exhausted from work and then I've got like 3 things to edit or something and you're just like, fuck, you know, like, but yeah. That's okay though, I think.
And the money would really help.
Yeah, it really would. We've done the whole applying for heaps of grants and with the city council, and yeah, they haven't been successful. Which is just sometimes the life of like an artist trying to get some council grants and stuff. It's just like denied, and that's all good. But yeah, this money would really, really help.
Yes,
for sure.
I guess one of the last things I wanted to ask was like, if I kind of think of you in my brain as like, oh, Gremlins knows what all the cool things are that are happening right now, right?
Oh, that's a really good thought. That's cool.
I'm very music focused.
Yep.
It's a very that's kind of it.
For
Whereas
sure.
you guys cover so much other stuff beyond music.
Try to, yeah.
Yeah. So amongst that bigger scope of culture in the city, what are you, and this can just be you personally, you're not making a statement on behalf of the Gremverse, but what are you, which you said, so I've taken that term, what for you is like exciting or has momentum in the city currently?
Yep. Definitely music, for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, music. I go to a lot of electronic music gigs, so really, really enjoy the producer and DJ scene here.
Is there a particular scene, or are they all just one big thing?
There's definitely like particular scenes of collectives of people, and the types of music that people are playing, or like the venues that people go to for certain gigs. Yeah, there's 100% like different scene, like an umbrella of the scene, and
so it's kind of stratified.
Yep.
Which is interesting because the band scene is like that as well.
Right, yeah. See, I don't know too much about the band scene or what I was thinking about this the other day. When you don't refer to electronic music, it's not acoustic music or live music, right? I was really, I know. I was stressed about this. I'm like, what do you...
Well, my bandmates have a theory that there's only 2 genres. There's there's house and there's emo. So
wait, in electronic?
No, in music. It's either house or it's emo.
Whoa. Let me.
Sorry, but that's one answer.
Yeah.
I would just call it like band music is
band music. Yeah. But then what if someone's a solo artist?
Yeah, still band music.
Okay.
Yeah, they came from the tradition of bands, even if they're doing it solo. Okay. Whereas electronic music is its own tradition, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think also like a lot of producers and DJs are coming to Christchurch now as well, which is really cool. And a big centre point of that is, or like a big hub for that is the Mains campus, which is it's the something Audio Institute.
Yeah, my listeners are all bloody musicians and they'll know exactly what Mains is. Yeah.
Yes, Mains. I think I did an interview with Keanu Raves, the DJ. With Cam, and he used to teach there. And I think he told me in the interview that it's the only, like there used to be a campus of Mains up in Tamaki, but now that isn't a thing. So, And it was specifically in the lockdown when like registrations, enrollments declined, but here they only went up.
Yeah, so.
And which is really, really cool. So there's actually like within there a really strong network of people in the scene who are teachers and mentors that actually give you a pretty cool pathway out into like being at gigs and being booked, which is really cool. So definitely that. I think the art scene here is really, really dope. There are a lot of awesome, which I'm actually actively trying to go to more artistic things. Whenever I go to one, I'm like, oh, I should do this more.
Right.
And then it just like never happens.
Classic.
I'm like, oh, I should do this more, or like I should come here more. But yeah, like the physics room, green room, there are definitely about 4 more places I should probably mention. But the art scene here is really, really awesome. I think the cafe and like, op shops. Op shops are on. Like,
yeah, top op shop.
This is difficult. There's this like really nice and convenient collection of op shops on Colombo Street. There's like right next to Penny Lane. There's the SPA and then a Flourish one and like another. Yeah, exactly. So that I also love Nifty and like places like Paperback Princess and stuff. And then like the cafe scene's on here too. I feel like you can eat well in Christchurch.
Yeah, as long as you're not gluten free.
Is that not are you gluten free?
I'm not, but I know people who are.
Who are and they struggle. Yep.
It's a nightmare.
Is that not
thing in Auckland?
Yeah.
No, it's better in Auckland.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny because I will be honest, like cafes that I like to hang out at, I struggle down here compared to Auckland.
Okay. Have you been to Scoundrel?
Yes.
Do you struggle there?
It's too big for me.
Yep.
I like, say, like this kind of size space.
Supreme on Wells Street.
Which I think is like one of the hangout spots.
It kind of is now. It's kind of cool. Yep.
I'm not saying this is true for everyone, but but I think in Christchurch, traditionally, lots of cafes have this kind of anxiety that someone will walk in and they won't have the one thing that this person wants.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's every cafe is, and that's, I mean that to mean every cafe here seems to want to be everything to everyone, and it means it's nothing to no one. Nothing to no one.
Whew.
Right.
The cools are on.
Yeah. So I would like more. The thing that Auckland has is very good villagey cafes. Like, you've obviously got the ones in Grey Lynn and Ponsonby and Morningside, but then you've got like the Hare and the Turtle out more west. You've got, they're all dotted around. Whereas here it's like, I want to, like, there's like a couple of cafes in Sumner and Redcliffe.
Yeah.
And a couple in like Maryvale.
Yeah.
Everything else is central. I want a good, like, neighborhood vibey cafe like this in Summerfield and
totally,
and in New Brighton and in all these things.
Yeah.
And I just think it will happen in the next year.
Yes, it's growing for sure, but I do know what you mean.
And it's
like
tough with the overheads in cafe culture right now.
Yep.
But yeah.
I think we didn't order tomatoes the other day because they were like, oh, how much were the tomatoes? But they were absurd.
Yeah.
Like, we changed a menu item because...
Yeah. Which is, I think, how new cafes will have to roll.
Yep.
I still would love to run a space/cafe at some point in my life, but only a maniac would open one right now.
Kind of,
but we need more. We do have maniacs down here.
We do. You'll find them in the cafes in Christchurch. Like, they're here. Yeah.
So, donate to the Boost.
Yep, boosted.
Yeah, I thought it was boosted.
So the whole campaign's called Boost Õtautahi.
Great.
But then, all the projects have their own individual boosted page.
Yeah, and we only, if we want people to donate only to Gremlins and don't give a single cent to any of these other competitors in the.
I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you there because Everyone else is actually really cool.
Yeah, cool.
Everyone else is really cool.
It's so annoying when it's like that, isn't it?
Can I give a couple of honourable mentions?
Sure.
So
We'll
we've
cut
got...
it out, but yeah, go.
Yeah, okay. Well, so RDU.
Okay,
We've got RDU. We've got Darkroom.
great.
We've got the Arts Centre.
Cool.
We've got Tiny Fest. Tiny Fest are really, really cool.
Okay.
Symbiosis magazine. Have you heard of them?
It's ringing a bell.
Yeah. Leonardo runs it. Really. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think I had a yarn to him the other day. How's your mag going, bro? They're all really, really cool.
Okay, cool.
So can't dog the other homies.
No, chuck a little bit and...
Yeah, honestly, I would...
Yes.
Yeah. If you're going to choose, if you're going to have a little podium, Grammy's at the top.
Beautiful.
But all of them are really cool. Like, I won't be angry if you donate to the other ones as well.
Not publicly, anyway.
Not publicly, but internally,
Your
I'll be a bit offended.
If they order coffees from you and they haven't donated, they will taste worse.
Oh, shit, yeah. 100%.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us. Me and Gremlins.
But that's fine. One quickly.
Yeah.
Do you do that thing where you'll be talking to people on behalf of Gremlins and you'll just say we all the time?
Yeah, I do.
Even if you know it's just you?
Yeah. Well, at the start, it was a we, and I think a lot of people thought that it was a lot more... So many more people.
I say we all the time.
Yeah,
and it's literally just me.
Literally,
I'm like, yeah, we've been working on... like, in my head, I'm like, there's no way.
So I do think this all the time. But now there is actually a cool core team.
Cool.
Which is... So I'm doing a lot of the mahi, but like, so are the other homies.
There is a we.
There is a we.
And where there's
wasn't.
Where there's a we, there's
a way. Yeah, saw it coming. Nice.